Reality.
UFOs.
Science.
Consciousness.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
That might not be a real thing. The podcast. Three.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. As always, I'm your host, the Candyman, hanging out with my main man, Danny D, and his lovely wife, Kingsley.
Yo.
Sean couldn't be here this week, but we are joined by one of my buddies from long time running. I call you Wild Bill, but nobody else does.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're literally in my phone as Wild Bill. So I actually said before you showed up, we were trying to figure out, like, do you know this guy? Do you
And
know
we
Dan?
do know each
And
other,
then
yeah.
Turns out you knew each other.
I used to work at Gravity Fitness in Drake, and we used to talk all the time, like every day for like a while. Well, at least as long as I worked there, like a year.
Yeah, we had some good conversations.
Yeah, there were like a few people that would like rotate
a little bit closer.
There were a few people that like would stop by and talk. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Like regulars. But yeah, he was one of them.
And these are for you if you want a marijuana cigarette.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Which we are smoking right now. What is this?
That would be Chem K.
Chem K.
Yes.
Grown in soil, nice and organic.
It's actually grown in cocoa.
Cocoa?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
With veganics. All plant-based nutrients.
Yep. It's a good diet.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Tastes good. It's got a smooth.
I did Roots Organic first, and that was flavorful. But
Roots Organic is a good company.
I don't smoke weed, but I'd like the name weed. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
This
This is Jimmy Superfly Snooker.
Jimmy. That's a
Yeah,
good,
that's
yeah.
what I'd like
'Cause
to
you
do.
want to when you smoke it, you want to jump off.
Yeah,
the
you
want
want to jump off the top turnbuckle, off the top of the cage like he did.
Ricky the Dragon
Yeah,
Steamboat.
this is a sleeper hold.
That's
This
funny.
is a Stone Cold Stunner.
That's genius.
Earlier today, I was talking about something about wrestling, and Joanna says to me, "Oh, I can see the rainbows in your eyes when you talk about wrestling." Like,
I still love it. I still watch it.
We went to a house show, a few years ago.
Yeah, well,
Right
we
in
went
Lowell.
to NXT, and then
Yeah.
I went to SmackDown recently.
Yeah, you did. It was a lot of fun.
I just caught up on wrestling the other day because I got surgery on my mouth, and
When I was a child, my dad took us to see Hulk Hogan take on Andre the Giant.
yeah, he
Shut
saw
the
it, like WrestleMania
fuck up.
3 or whatever.
Do you have any idea what that was like? As
Insanity,
As
I'm
like
sure.
a 6-year-old kid,
Oh my god.
That's
it was insane.
you saw him body slam him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you
Picked
remember
up
it at
Andre
all?
the Giant and fucking body slammed him, and everyone was like, "He did it! He did it!"
I remember watching that on pay-per-view.
And like Andre the Giant is not like you could say whatever you want about wrestling being like maybe quote unquote fake or whatever, right? But those guys
Very, very
those
fake,
guys
very
jump around and do a lot of stuff that like just
Oh, no,
physically
they're
hurts,
crazy,
and it's
yeah.
athletic to do. But like Andre the Giant
Totally.
wasn't doing any kind of like jumpsy flipsies. Like
Nothing.
Hulk Hogan literally picked him up and slammed him
He
down.
had taken a slam before, but he wasn't not when he was this big. Like he had gained weight over the years. So
So they probably like had to practice a month for that one simple move,
No,
just because of his
no.
sheer size.
I don't know. I don't think so. No.
one-time deal.
No,
Hulk-
I know the story. You know what happened was Hulk Hogan wasn't sure if Andre was going to let him do it and let him win the title. So like Hulk didn't even know. Andre knew, but
Now
Hulk
they have,
didn't even know.
now they have the Andre the Giant special out, and I haven't watched it because I'm just not that interested. But like, I have
Vince
heard,
cries in it.
I have heard like on YouTube and other stuff from like wrestling people that talk about him. They say he was like a dick to the other wrestlers, like a bully.
Well, if he liked you, he wasn't.
Yeah, if
but-
he liked you, he was cool. But I think he used to like pick on Randy Savage or something, Macho Man.
Yeah, because Macho Man was very sensitive.
And he just couldn't. He like couldn't handle it.
He could drink like his beers in his hand. They looked like he was holding like
One of
pixie
those
sticks.
like one of those mini
Yeah,
cans.
and he just wrap his whole hand around him and he'd just drink them like in one sip.
I think it's funny when a guy, like they obviously did it in The Princess Bride, but like when a huge guy and a tiny little guy are like friends like that.
yeah.
Oh, like me and me and Liam.
Yes.
Yeah.
6'7"
It's
and
the
I'm
best.
5'5".
You guys look
It's the
great
cutest
together.
thing. Dan comes up to his elbow.
He's
And it's
6'7",
like, it's
350,
so
and I'm
cute.
135, 5'5". So
So the reason, first of all, Are you a fan of the show if you've listened to every episode, or was it curiosity?
I wanted to see what you guys were.
We haven't gotten deep on certain conspiracies and things like that.
You're saying it's predominantly
But-
curiosity.
And no, I think it's predominantly.
Come a little closer. You have to really talk into that puppy.
Yeah. So I did listen to them all, but you guys, I don't know. I was wondering, like,
You're one of
where
the...
Is there anything you wanted to correct us on? that you've
Oh,
heard?
tons.
Yeah.
He's
Like, where you're like, no.
In the beginning, right? You guys have said that Sean was going to be calling you out on those things that aren't real. Like, that might not be a real thing. And I was like,
Copy,
oh, this is
copy.
going to be great. Okay.
Yeah, the name doesn't really match the show.
So I'm like, okay, well, when are they going to... wait a second. That's not a real thing. That's not a real thing.
He never calls us out
Wait a
anymore.
minute. That's not a
Well,
real
okay,
thing.
if it's not, I'd like to hear what isn't a real thing, because this could be
Well,
interpretation too.
here's the deal. Billy's one of the great conspiracy theorists of our time, and like
I'm not...
where
I'm
we're
not
from.
I just...
Alternative thinkers.
Yeah, sure. I have a lot of time at work.
Okay.
I've mastered my trade.
That's before you, King.
You listen to a lot of podcasts.
Am I on the money?
I do too at my
What?
work.
Before you got here, I told these guys something, right? Because Kingsley was looking at it. I said he has because of what you do for work, because you're doing this tiling, and it's it's physical labor, but it's like not super mind intensive. You've got it down. You're pretty crafty. You've been doing it a long time. You listen to a lot
at its best.
craftsmanship at its best. You listen to a lot of books and a lot of podcasts and radio shows and a lot of media on basically while
I take in a lot of info.
So you might not be reading books, but you're listening to a shit ton of audiobooks at work, yeah? Over the years?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So that's
A lot of
that's
audiobooks, a lot of
given birth.
podcasts, a lot of... Because nowadays...
Points of view.
Yes. Lots of different points of view.
There's some good podcasts out there too.
What's your favorite?
My favorite, I like. It's not nothing to do with any news or anything, but I listen to Talking Sopranos every Monday, which just goes over every Sopranos episode. And then I like the Scientology
Hey,
Fair
that
Game.
might not be a real thing.
Yeah, I like Scientology Fair Game. That's a good one.
That also might not be a real
Yeah,
thing.
I like. There's a bunch of UFO and Bigfoot ones I like.
Those
And I-
also might not be a real thing.
Yeah.
You question the nature of reality and things.
I question...
Most people.
Wait. I want to know
Everything.
I want to know some of your stances on certain things. Like, can we just go through some
I'm gonna.
things?
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna smoke weed, and you guys just go.
All right. UFOs, are they real, and are they visiting us?
Do you know... Have you ever heard of a TRB-3?
No,
A TRB-3? And you've never heard of one?
I don't think so.
All right, you have to look that up. Okay.
Okay.
A TRB-3.
That's King's specialty.
So
She's
I
fast.
have a nice DSLR camera, right?
Yeah.
One day I was down at the Butler School in Lowell.
Yeah, I know what the Butler is.
Okay, I'm full moon. I'm
Not filming the kids. but
Super cool.
I lived right there when I was
nope,
a kid.
it's a parking lot, and I could get up. And, it's a big, wide open view. So it's like 9 o'clock at night. It's nighttime.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a
Okay,
reverse engineered human craft.
They call them anti-gravity machines,
Mm-hmm.
even though I don't agree with gravity either. But
Is that a real picture of one? Like they caught pictures of them?
so I'm at the school, and I'm zoomed in on a full moon. I actually have my camera right here. I could show you some of the pictures of the moon, and I'm zoomed in on it, and I'm watching it, and I can see the craters. I can see everything in perfect detail.
Yeah, 'cause you can see pretty good stuff with the phones.
It's like I think it's 150 or 200 times zoom. I forget. I have to look
Crazy.
at it.
They're pretty good now, like for a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could show you some of the pictures I have. Anyways, I watched the TRB-3 fly by the moon,
Oh yeah.
and I thought to myself,
At what range? Was it like close to the moon or close to Earth?
no, it was close to the moon.
Is this a classified aircraft that they won't admit we have?
I don't know. To tell you the truth, I didn't really dig that deep into it,
Yeah.
into what it is.
How do you know the name?
Well, here's how the story goes. And I went home. I told my girlfriend, I'm like, oh, you won't believe what the hell. And I don't believe it either. Like, you will not believe. I said, some people say it was a bug. It was this. It was that. No, it wasn't. I watched this fly across the screen. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So I have a good friend who's really very deep into conspiracies. Or truth, I should put, not even conspiracies. It's more truth.
Well, I'd say they're not all truth, but there's some good ones out there, at least in my opinion.
What do you mean they're not all true?
Well, I mean, there's conspiracies out there that are just ridiculous too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm not. So, okay.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't mean that.
No, he's not believing all of them, obviously.
Yes. No.
Okay.
Exactly. He does not. Anyways, so he told me about a podcast, and I thought to myself, yeah, okay, well, no big deal. I found somebody else on my way to truth, and then I seen the podcast that my friend told me to go, and this guy was
Who is it?
It's Crow 777. That's CRROW 777radio.com. That is his podcast. I've paid for his subscription for 5 or 6 years now, $80 a year. I pay for it because it's worth it.
Wow.
This is probably one of the best podcasts. But
Check it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out after.
Yeah. If you want something good. So, anyways, he's
3 hours.
He was a astronomer. He has a telescope. He's an amateur astronomer, and he hooked up his camera to a screen, and he would record what he sent.
Yeah, that's dope. So he can do that now.
He caught what was called they called the lunar eclipse, which is the moon, and it jumps pixels. Basically, is what it does. It just jumps pixels. It goes, and you can see a wave go across, a pixel jump across, because what we're looking at is a screen.
So you're telling me that.
So wait, so he believes in like the Matrix?
You're telling me that we live in like some kind of a dome.
We
live in some kind of a dome-like structure, and that's in fact like a projected image.
Yeah, I think everything's
That's cool.
I think everything's a projected image.
Well, I think our perception of everything is
I can't prove
we
or
create the
disprove
images.
what you're saying, so
I
I'm
can't either.
not arguing.
But okay. So
You could be correct.
So this flying device, this flying aircraft,
TRB-3.
is this supposed to be man?
Yeah. Yeah. It's all man. Everything's
Okay.
man.
Now that doesn't explain all the UFO sightings, obviously.
No, I'm not claiming that. I'm just talking about the one.
But that's just one of the ones you have.
I witnessed that one. I don't.
That's cool.
I can't say anything about what anybody else seen because I wasn't there.
I'm gonna have to do some deep research on that.
I had one UFO sighting. It happened
So-
also in Lowell. It's funny as that. I mean, we both did live around here, but I was driving one time down the boulevard and I saw a fucking huge silver like blimp or something in the air, and
I saw that outside of our house. With the kids.
I looked up at it and I just like driving.
You sure it wasn't a blimp? Because I saw it too.
It was a couple of years ago, but I was like on the boulevard and it's like dangerous because they shrunk it into like one lane and they put concrete all there, so like make it like just complete nerve wracking when you drive through
so
it.
awful.
You're like hands at 10 and 2 on the wheel,
You're like,
eyes moving. You're like,
I'm gonna die
any second now. I'm gonna crash my car for sure. So like I just glimpsed up for a second and saw this shiny silver big thing. And then after I got out of the concrete areas, I went to look back at it and it was gone and I couldn't find it. And I was like, it's
No,
too.
but that's weird because
I'm like, it was too high in the air for it to have been obscured by like any kind. I hadn't driven that far for it to like. There's no mountainous terrain or
It didn't go over
buildings.
the horizon.
Yeah, right. It didn't go over the horizon. I was like, where the hell did it go? I was like, I didn't just see this giant thing it just disappeared. And then that was it. So I saw it for a second, and then it was gone. And I was like, whoa. And I just flagged it as that's a possible UFO sighting. You know what I mean?
I've also seen a green streak come through the sky, which some would say is a shooting star or something.
That could be.
And I've also seen a light another time, but I chalk it up to it could have been a glare from the window. I don't know that, but it was a light, and it came behind the car, and then I don't know, it just went over the car and kept going. But
I have a question on. I want to drill down on what the space of whatever you want to define it as that we exist in. If you had to do it, if you had to paint me a general description of what you think we're in right now as reality, what is it? Because you said that the moon is a screen. Like
I didn't say the moon is a screen.
Well, we're looking at a screen.
I said that the lunar eclipse is basically a pixel jump of a screen. You know, I could probably see it being a screen. That's a possibility. I can't say that that's what it is. I don't know.
I have a question.
I'm confused.
If we change it a little bit here, what is something that's traditionally described as a conspiracy that you call truth? What is the biggest thing that you are like you believe in?
Like what
know to be
really
true?
what
What is
really
the
gets
biggest,
them going?
What really gets you going? What is that one thing that you're
It gets me going?
Yeah.
It's probably that people don't understand what real life is. What's real life?
In regard to what?
You can tell me if I ask you what is real life. You give me a description.
Consciousness, the experience.
I don't know, because I think about this
sensation.
all the time because I'm
Thought
just
and
alive
sense.
for a little blip, and I don't experience any other parts
Well,
of history.
at least that's what you think.
That's what I
You
think.
don't know.
You're right, because I am
Well-
here and I am, yeah.
Not getting into reincarnation or anything.
No,
like
I'm not
that.
talking about that. I'm talking about just living your life over and over again, because the minute you die, you're born again.
Oh, maybe.
Keep on going.
Maybe.
Because you don't experience the
Time
time,
loop.
and the universe just resets again, the Big Bang and everything, and then you're back again. And you only have your time, and that's it.
Big Bang.
Does the Big Bang come out of your
Well, okay.
existence? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, they don't. The Big Bang is not completely
There you go.
proven.
There's a good. Yeah, it's a,
Okay.
There's a good conspiracy right there.
The Big Bang.
Yeah.
Well, that's their best idea of what happened at the beginning. I mean,
It's a crazy.
How about it?
It's a
how
theory,
About,
yeah.
how about it always was and it always will be?
well, that seems like more religious to me. So let me just put this out there as a disclaimer. I talk about UFOs and stuff like that a lot, but I don't really dig deep like I do certain things in my life that I'm an expert on, I would say.
Right. So a lot of stuff is hearsay then.
Anecdotal,
You know what I mean?
hearsay. Like, I like reading cool articles. Like, I don't really take it too seriously. I think we are being visited by aliens. I think okay, you're saying that reality isn't what I think. Like, where there's hundreds of billions of stars.
No, I'm saying.
That's good to
Just in, our
say.
sure.
just in our galaxy alone, there's 100 billion of stars.
I mean,
in our
who
galaxy
counted
alone.
them?
Well, they didn't count them necessarily.
well, then, I mean,
it's up there. You can see stars. They can
Well,
measure.
you
They
can
can measure
see,
all.
You see lights.
They can measure all sorts of stuff with those stars.
And they
though.
can, you could
Well,
could travel with them.
It's irrelevant.
They have the Hubble telescope.
Okay.
Well, that's a real thing.
Well, I'm waiting.
What about
on-
Sophia?
I'm waiting. I'm waiting
know
for
this-
you to.
Sophia?
I'm waiting for you to describe reality to me, Billy, because like
Well, I asked you guys
We
what
grow
what
up
is
with, like,
real life? What is real life?
Consciousness.
I just say
reality.
I say consciousness.
Okay,
and
so
sensation.
consciousness, real life is what? Anything that can reproduce itself.
Oh, I guess no.
What do you mean? No,
I believe
that's real life because
You're saying reproduction is an
Biologically reproduced right now.
For instance, everything here that we're using right here to make this isn't real life because someone had to put their life force energy into it to make it, and it cannot reproduce itself.
Fair enough.
So it's not real life. It's
So,
fiction. It's
see
fake.
I see what you're saying. It has to reproduce. It has to produce waste. It has to.
It doesn't have to produce waste.
Okay.
Well,
but
if it's alive,
I guess
it has to. If
Doesn't mean
if
it's fiction,
if
though.
it's
We're utilizing it
living,
as a tool.
If it's a life or living, it if it consumes
real life, right?
to reproduce, it must produce waste.
But what isn't real about this
I
microphone?
never thought about that. I'd have to think to reproduce.
To come in, something has.
I get what you're saying. So
Yeah.
I guess I can go with that. But that's what real life is. Real life is anything that can reproduce stuff. So let's look around, and if we get rid of everything in here that isn't real life, what's left?
Well, like every single.
I mean,
The
we
four.
need-
Hold on, the four of us, right?
But we need these tools, though.
But that doesn't matter. I'm talking about what's real life.
You're talking biology straight up.
I'm talking about real life. What's real life?
Matter is real.
Do you believe
Supposedly.
in conscious artificial life? Like, would you give sanctioned rights to a being that was made out of machinery? Like, if it could,
It's not real life.
why? It's just made out of different material than we are. What if it meets all your requirements? What if it has a mechanism to procreate? It has a mechanism.
He's going to build all the robots.
Yes, I'm talking about exactly as good as we are. It's just physically made out of mechanical
I
components.
like these fantasies.
More mechanical
More
components.
than talking about, like...
I'm just saying, for me, one of my big things is that I think like what you're calling life seems to be described as biological stuff.
Okay, sure. So
goop.
so now
That's just chemistry.
now the society that we live in a society that is a society of scarcity, right?
Money.
Scarcity. Money is scarcity. When in reality, if we lived in a real with real life, the real Arthur Christian. Here's someone if you want to look someone else up. Arthur Christian and Love for Life Insight work is amazing. So
I'm looking, King, because I want you to look him up. I'm like, look him up.
So
Look him up, young Jamie.
So basically, you know, you live for life. We live in scarcity when there's abundance. You pick an apple, it has 5 seeds in it. You plant those 5 seeds, you're going to get 5 trees with how many apples, right? This is the way we're supposed to live, in abundance.
It's not as
in
easy as all that, though.
Well, that's because somebody wants to, somebody else wants to control another man when they want.
Well, I'm just talking Mother Nature, bro. You have a big garden out back, and like I know you.
It is a miracle that we feed as many people as we do, though.
Why is it a miracle? I think they've convinced
people suck.
No, convinced you. They convinced everyone that this is the way things are. You've just grown up this way, and you think this way.
For sure.
A lot of people can't change.
For
a lot of people get stuck in one way of thinking, and then they can't change.
Well, what you're talking about is some pretty serious shit because
well, that's basically
our entire society is pretty much propelled by the quest for wealth and material possessions. There are some people now starting to, like people like me,
You think everybody's quest is for? Say that again.
I think most people are just trying to get through the daily survival shit that they have to get through to get through it. And we live in a luxurious time where we have the ability to actually think about stuff that's going on, where we're not constantly
they want you to
preoccupied
think
with
that
the
you
toil.
live in a luxurious time.
Bro,
I've seen some things that says that times were better in the past.
Sure.
Much better.
Sure, I mean,
Yeah, but there's still some cool shit that's going on.
all
with
I'm
technology,
saying is
too.
relative to my point in
I think it's
existence
cool.
right now, because
Well, I'm not saying there's not cool stuff.
Yeah, it's just you
Definitely.
can't even stop that progress. Like it's impossible.
yeah, it's fine. I'm just
It's
saying.
something catastrophic to stop it.
Relative to us, we live in a dope time that we can think about things, and we have the ability to I'm not saying that we have the ability to travel faster than light right now, but we at least have the ability to conceive it and think of the idea, and we're working on, if we don't already have these things down, we're working on ways to try to do it. Okay, so everything we have comes out of basically human imagination. And
I agree totally. The dream of life.
That's
whatever you dream. Your dream is your spirit.
And that's
your spirit.
And
is
that
your
leads
words. Your words lead to actions.
Well, that leads into manifestation,
right.
And it all plays into each other.
That's why
I've been playing with that a little bit lately.
But what I do want to
That's why they get
say,
everybody
what I want to
fucking.
finish off on the society thing is there are people now, okay, Sadhguru, I follow him on IG. I don't know if you know him. He's some Indian guy who's he's a guru. He's enlightened. All right. He's got a lot of followers. I've listened to him. He's
some of them
enlightened.
Deepak get a lot of criticism.
All I'm saying is
a lot of woo, and he puts into science and particle physics.
I put my stamp on this guy. I think Joe Rogan over the last couple of years has been a big guy carrying the flag for hey, fuck money, fuck this, fuck that.
Yeah,
we should
when you're
say
rich,
that when
though.
you get all that money.
I
Yeah,
know,
for
I know,
real.
but he
Right.
worked.
That guy's the
but
biggest shill in the world.
Yeah, but he worked hard to get to where he is, and he has a lot to risk by saying a lot of the stuff he does.
No,
and
anything that he says is made to be bled out to the
you think
people.
he's the new Howard Stern?
I think he's the new him, Alex Jones. They're all
right.
they're all there to
I don't
lead you
think
the wrong way.
I don't think he's consciously
I'm
Joe
s-
Rogan's consciously wanting to hurt the people or anything like that. I think he's just living his life, but I think he's out of touch with some things. Obviously, he has to be. He's so rich and famous now.
That guy flip flopped on the
I
moon
think
landing.
it's
He flip flopped on the moon landing, but
hysterical.
he explains that he's an idiot. And he can flip flop real quick.
It's easy. He's a shill. He's there to guide people now.
The moon landing thing, you can flip flop on it. You can flip flop on things and there's no. It's not because you're a shill. It's just because you just flip flop on it. You make a different decision. I'm stupid. I could tell you tomorrow I don't believe aliens are visiting. I believe it now, but
Well, what's in the middle of belief?
I don't know. Bullshit.
No, it's right there. Lie, Lie. Be
Okay.
you be the lie when you believe. You
talking
got to
about
know
in
You
the
have to-
English
yeah.
language.
Yes.
The
Okay.
letters that spell the word.
They put it right in there. Be the lie.
But there's also life is
If
so
you believe
busy and
something,
high-paced.
then you're putting your energy into that lie. You can't.
Well,
you have to prove it. right?
All I was trying to say, boys, was that there is a movement in society now where we're starting to not care so much about money. What do you need, lighting?
You also can't be an expert on everything. You have to pick your.
No, but I'm saying is that the my cousin Alex had the drug problem, and that's obviously plays into other things, right? But one big thing he was talking about was this less than feeling based on not having enough and not being approved by society, like not having a BMW,
Right.
not having $1 million in the bank. It's all just financially based, right?
That's all material.
And exactly. And I was
That
telling
doesn't
him,
bother me.
and so Billy, I don't know if you listened to it, but I was explaining to him, I'm like, dude, you've got some of the greatest gifts life gives you. You've got like a big dick and you're good looking and you're like, and
You're tall.
and you're tall and you, like, that's life. That's what's valuable.
Well,
you
no,
know?
I think there's something deeper, more valuable than
Okay,
that.
there is, but at the
I'm
same
just
time,
saying-
like, I have 4
I'm just
kids.
saying-
Having a house is a good thing.
One thing
like,
we
when you have
left
4 kids.
One thing we left off the list that he has is time, theoretically. You know, like
Time is the most valuable thing,
like
right?
any
I think that is the biggest.
sure. And any day
biggest,
could be your last.
biggest farts going?
Yeah,
The
time.
That
time.
could be.
Time's a
I can
construct.
get on with that.
You can't go
So you
into
don't-
the past.
you don't believe in reality.
You can't go
No,
into
wait,
the
time
past
out.
and you can't go into the future.
You don't
There's only
believe in
here and
you
now.
don't believe in gravity,
Which
and
is
you
gone.
don't subscribe to time.
Gravity is a theory that's been around for a long time. They say that the longer a theory has been around, the less likely it's going to be true. Yeah, and it's never been proven. You can't. Although you could prove electromagnetic
Forces.
right? You could take a balloon and put it on your head and put it against the wall, and the electricity will hold it there. Everything's electric.
I could put a magnet on my chest and it'll beep.
No, electromagnetic static forces are very powerful.
Yeah,
They're,
that's
they're
what
literally more powerful than gravity.
gravity's not a
It's
real
what's holding everything together.
Yeah. At work, when we bring.
It's something, whether it's I don't know whether the word gravity or the description of gravity is adequate, but there's something going on with gravity.
Something's going on.
Something. It keeps us in the ground, and when we go up into space, we float around. Unless you don't believe we've been into space, but
There's mathematics that seem to be.
where does space begin and where does it?
well, is it?
Where
I can even talk about that. Okay, there's a
I think it's a
there's a line.
tesseract.
There's a line that's like a vague kind of line that they believe when you're in orbit.
A
I forget what it's
vague-
called.
A vague line.
Yeah, what was it called?
The atmosphere?
No, when you leave the atmosphere, yeah, there's a line.
The stratosphere?
The Van Allen belt.
We're in space.
No, Van Allen belts. That's another thing. Oh, the Kármán line.
The Kármán line, and that's
Kármán line.
and that's where the vacuum of space
Represents
where the
both-
vacuum of space
Well,
starts
you no, it's not. It's gradual. You gradually lose oxygen in the atmosphere, and
As you go up.
so so do we have air pressure here right now? Is there air pressure around us?
Theoretically, yes.
We're at 1 atmosphere.
Okay.
Yeah,
So then to have air pressure, you need to have a container, right?
yeah, the atmosphere.
Okay, so
Well,
The theoretical bubble around the Earth.
the
Because
electro.
the space is a vacuum,
The
so
Earth's
having an
elect-
so
atmosphere is a bubble.
so when you have a vacuum that's going to suck everything, and yet you have space. So where's that? Where is
well,
that?
that's where gravity
It's
comes
gravity,
in.
and it's a gradual atmospheric thing. Because even a balloon that seems like it's sealed is porous and
But,
and
but
transfer.
I get what he's saying, that gravity could be generated from an electromagnetic
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying it's
force.
from the Earth.
Do you
like,
know what I mean?
It's necessarily from like matter, like the
Mass.
weight of matter and mass. But
Hey, listen,
it seems to be though.
some of the best scientists
I don't
in the
know.
history of humanity have tried to explain these mere
Yeah, I'm a
concepts.
monkey. Let's just play this right now. I'm a monkey.
I'm just saying.
I,
certain things in
I'm
life I
I'm a
can tell
man. And, Joe Rogan wants to convince you you're a monkey.
No, I don't even listen to Joe Rogan now.
Time out.
I'm just saying.
You can't look
That's
at a
a
monkey
lie.
and not look at us and be like, we're clearly related.
Yeah, we're all here in this world together. That's how
No,
we're
we evolved from
Listen,
great apes.
evolved.
You're-
What did some monkeys just stop and the rest? Some
No,
went
it's
on, and then
gradual.
there's none in
Things
between.
Time is gradual. Everything is so gradual in time.
How do
I
you
don't think
prove
so,
that,
man. I think we're a hybrid species.
We
for
saw
sure.
tombstones today that were from like what, the 1700s in
1600s.
Salem, and like these are carved stone that are just slowly weathering from the rain and the wind.
Well, maybe under natural processes.
on my YouTube
I'm talking
on my
about
YouTube channel.
entropy.
I have a video of a carved marble stone at the Lowell Cemetery, which you can see that it's made with a drill and a machine. And when at this time when this was made, they didn't have these things, is what they tell us.
Wait. This could be. Is this
But it could have
actually
been
old?
a
'Cause I could tell you how
reproduction.
things were made.
Yeah,
Like, it could be-
reproduction.
It could be. There are ways of casting certain rock.
No, there's no
stone.
casting.
There's
You
no
can,
casting.
You can see the drill marks from. You can see where
Well,
they put the drill
also
in.
too, as I'm a restoration artist, sometimes things are restored and restored poorly, and tool marks are left behind. There's a lot of reasons why.
Yeah.
sculpture could-
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that it has like what's those machines where the robot
Lathe.
arm? No.
3D printer.
Not a 3D printer, but same thing. When they use them.
Like a laser.
They use them in wood for
Like a lathe.
Laser cutter.
yeah, basically, but with a router on it.
Yeah,
Okay?
like a lathe. The
Okay.
lathe does that kind of thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. So basically, that's what they used. There's no doubt in my mind that that's what they used to make this. But to have that kind of technology back then, when they made this, was like 1800s. So what I'm saying is, everything that we've been taught in school, all our history, everything is all a lie.
See, I don't know about this because
all
I'm a sculptor for a living, and I make things that show up in like town halls and like different places, and like we're still using old world processes,
Well-
like of casting, mold making, sculpting.
Okay, but
What-
yeah,
and these,
Let me get
and
it,
like
right?
so, if there's, I could show you things out there that I could know for a fact. With a clay model was made, and then a stone carving was done based off that model.
What my man here is saying is this.
That he saw one that is machined.
No, what he's saying is this. Okay, just to put it in my own words. All right. You and I, we talk about it on the show all the time when we talk about history. The history books are written by the people who won the wars.
Oh yeah, no, I don't
Okay.
trust history at all.
So,
I don't disagree with that.
and you get into the sciences, and you get a lot of these guys that are they're these they're dogmatic science, right? And you're like, everything they've learned, right? It's because most of it they read it in a book, or they've been told by some authoritative person, like a teacher or a parent, that this is so. Okay, this is up, this is down, this is black, this is white, this is forward, this is backwards. This is the narrative of human time.
Scarcity. They teach you scarcity.
Okay,
Whatever.
I'm just saying.
What I'm saying is everything
stone carvings exist.
most everything you know because you just learned it and took it because that's what the world gave you, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, history, American history, here it is, right here. This happened, that happened, that happened. You weren't there. You didn't see it. I wasn't there. I didn't see it. Okay, I don't know that that's what actually, like the Battle of the 300 and Thermopylae and all that. They have the movie
I'm
about
not
it.
speaking of that.
The scrolls, the writings, and all this other stuff. But I didn't see it happen.
I'm speaking of things that I know I can look at and tell you how they were made.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
What I'm
'cause that's
saying,
what I do for
but
a
what
living.
Billy's saying is that the entire educational system could just be a story that they tell you to make
totally could be.
make you believe in the system, so that you go out there and you do your thing, and you make your money, and you play by the rules.
But
Whatever.
why would so that they're
I don't
telling
know.
you that like you're telling me that technology like that existed in the past?
Why not?
Which I believe. it
Why
did.
not?
I believe this technology with cell
And how-
phones
and
and
how- and
Wi-Fi
how-
could have existed before in the past.
How about, have you heard of the ether?
This is a big one you were talking to me about.
Ether is what they used to say for
Space.
what space was made out of, right?
The ether is everything around
Everything,
you.
the air.
It's the
Yeah,
air. It's
yeah.
it's the medium in which everything travels.
Right, but
It's
they
to have
brought-
a wave, to have a light wave, you have to have some kind of medium for it to travel through, right? To have a wave of this, it's so the ether is free energy for everyone. It's energy there. If we didn't have cell phones, I don't know this for a fact. This is just me talking nonsense, but we could probably telepathically talk to each other. I know there's a lot of times when you're thinking about someone and then they call you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I do it to her all the time.
Right. So
have-
you're
I
on,
have-
on a wavelength with someone. You have an attachment with someone. You have some kind of. Basically, what I'm saying is they give you these things so that one, they can trace you, track you, and do all these things, and then you don't evolve. Your spirituality, you stuck in a material world where your every thought is. How am I going to get by, or what's the coolest thing I can do, or you're stuck in this material world.
I don't feel like they're that coordinated though. I feel like it's just capitalism and it's simple. Make something better or not even better, just new, money. That's how I feel. Things get bombarded at us. I don't know. I feel like you're talking of like a new world order, right?
You know, in the movie Dances, in the movie,
you see the whole world is how many places have been shut down? they shut down the economies everywhere.
Yeah.
So there's total control.
No, I'm not saying there's no control.
So when
Oh yeah, people start policing each other. Like, hey,
I'm just
you're not,
saying, I
you're
don't
not
think
wearing.
they care
Are you?
about our
Hey,
spirituality.
are you vaxxed? Oh, don't come over.
wow,
Oh, we're having a cookout. Do you have a fucking vaccine or a mask? Oh, you can't come over.
we would never ask.
Did you
that,
did
though.
you ever see my video from Whole Foods when the Whole Foods called the cops on me and they wanted me out of there because I wouldn't wear my mask? I wouldn't wear a mask. I wouldn't let them take my temperature. I'm like, no. And basically, they called the cops. The cops came. I videotaped this whole thing for 2 hours, and then at the end of it, they had to let me shop because the law was on my side. All the mandates, I had it all highlighted. I had everything I needed.
The law itself is a man-made thing, and it can,
Yes, it's fake. Yes, it's. Here's
If you're truly
here's something.
I mean, there's social constructs, and there's real shit.
But if you're truly
Social
a free organism, then nothing controls you but you.
Can I throw a curveball at you guys?
I mean, you've been throwing nothing but scatter balls, curve balls,
Knuckleballs.
fastballs.
Hey,
What do you got?
Who is the spokesperson? Who is the spokesperson for Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes?
Bro,
Ed McMahon.
I have no idea about any of that crap.
I knew who it was.
I'm
it was,
still over here trying to
Dick
figure
Clark.
out gravity.
Ed McMahon.
Ed McMahon was.
Right?
Okay,
Ed
Ed
McMahon.
McMahon.
Yeah. Now, if you look that up nowadays, they'll tell you no, he was never that.
Why?
Oh, Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I believe in the Mandela effect.
I like that.
Oh,
That's a
okay,
Bernstein Bears
so that's
thing.
everything changing.
What is the Mandela effect?
The Mandela-
Why is your wife so
okay.
excited about
So,
Yeah.
okay. So this is how I
it? You cocaine before you came over here?
No.
You're just
No.
so
Oh,
excited
I'm
to
excited.
be. I know.
We-
you love
This
it.
is my topic.
We have
I know it is.
We've had alone time this past weekend, so
Hey,
we're in
What's a
we're in
man-
a different world.
I want to know why
So-
Billy cares about Publishers Clearinghouse. This is all.
So there's another thing.
You
too,
had
like,
a
okay,
point to it. What is
the
it?
Bears, like
So
Berenstain Bears.
Berenstain Bears. Right?
I don't know any of these things. I
Okay,
know
tell
who
them what
they-
Mandela effect is.
Mandela effect is basically your reality changing.
Yeah, it's changing a little bit.
Shifting and
From what
phasing.
you remember.
From
and
what
then,
you remember, and you can swear on it.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things that don't register with me because, one, I'm not into movies. I don't watch movies. I don't watch TV. I don't, you know what I mean? But and like I hear you guys quoting all kinds of movie stuff. I could
we
never
do.
do it. I have
one.
idea.
I have one Mandela effect that I haven't heard anybody else say. I thought Jane Goodall died in like the early 2000s, and then
No,
I looked
she's
and
still-
she was still alive. I was
Yeah.
thought about
a
that.
glitch in the matrix.
So that's
is that
what,
it
like,
is?
yeah, exactly.
It's like a branching of like reality.
So
same theories.
So what you get is a basic layout of a multiverse where you've got these overlapping realities, and if that's true, then it's not impossible to phase in and out of said realities. Now
I don't think so either.
most of those realities are probably 99.99999% exactly alike as yours, right?
That might not be a real thing.
Sure. But when I meditate, what I do is, right, I ask the universe and I tell the universe what I want to have
Hey,
happen and the
you know-
outcome to have happen.
You know who you're asking, and you know who you're telling? Yourself.
Fine, that's true. Because I'm part of this.
You're the co-creator of the
ini-
here and now.
This is what I'm trying to explain to you, Billy. Before I even meditate, phase one of that exercise is that I initiate a connection between myself and the universe, and I acknowledge that I am some like inside out version of the same thing. Okay, like two sides of the same coin, yin and yang, so to speak, right? And so then once I've made my connection with the universe, then I start asking it to do things. Like I cast a seal of protection around you to make your teeth be healed and better and not kill you. And so far you're still alive. Okay. So that's one of my meditations. Now, what I'm really doing during that time is trying to phase myself into a reality of my choosing. Okay. So that when I come out of that experience, the things that I want do come out. Because in another reality, I'm been killed in a motorcycle crash. In another reality, I'm in jail somewhere.
No, none of that's true.
I want to hear you. You're very sure of some of this stuff. See, the thing that I know is that sorting all this shit out. I'm not sure.
But it's very
of
easy.
anything.
Here's how to sort it all out, right?
I'm sure-
we can all go outside, and we can all go outside and see the tree. We can all go outside and experience the tree.
The same tree.
The same tree. Every single one of us. Anybody who wants to come can come and experience that tree. That's. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's real life. All this other stuff that you guys are talking about, like all that stuff, that's not real though. None of it's real.
We exist inside of it all, do we not? You're saying we all...
mind- is the mind
Time out.
real?
Do
I'm
you
just-
think we exist only in our own minds? Is that what you think?
Only in our own minds.
But we experience the same are you talking about a higher power that we all experience?
I don't know. You got it's like Dan's saying. You got a lot of like your conviction on some of your statements are true, but I'm not getting any kind of an explanation really like that I'm understanding, and I'm a pretty
Well, there you
open
go.
guy.
There's the explanation is the definitions, right? The definitions of what things are running through your head,
Insufficient.
opposed to going out into nature and experiencing real life.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty connected.
So okay, so not being connected to stuff.
Imagine if everybody did away with everything material, right? And we all just started planting food, and we just all moved up and down the coast with the weather, right? And everybody lived a peaceful life.
Okay, there's things to be said about being peaceful, but
that's
doesn't
not
mean
our
you can't live a
nature.
good life, like and advance technologically.
It doesn't seem
you know
to be
how-
our nature
Tim-
to do that.
It doesn't seem to be our nature.
So people talk about
We're painful.
Well, people talk about
I love pain
computers.
personally.
People talk about computers and technology, and they say it's not natural. And my argument is that, like, well, what's so unnatural about it if we made it and we're natural? Could very well be that, like, is a bird nest unnatural?
We made this phone from the earth.
Everything,
point we did.
every single thing around you that's
Well, I didn't.
man-made is constructed from some sort of resources
I'm
that we
not-
extracted from them.
I'm not saying it's not
fashion
natural.
them in our own
It's
fashion.
natural to our world because we create it.
He's saying go down to a simpler
I'm
time.
saying go back to real life.
No clothing, no.
I mean,
Just
walk.
walk.
It wouldn't be a
bro,
thing. If,
I'm all for walking around naked with a bunch of people. Don't get me
No,
wrong.
you need clothing for
Protection.
I could see like 5 little like boxers behind
what are we
you,
allowed?
running
What are we
behind you.
allowed?
Hey,
What are we
hey,
allowed
hey.
to have in this real life of yours? Because I already know
Huh?
Xbox isn't going to make the list. So what do I get? What is it? I get weed. I get to keep weed.
Sure.
Because that's a plant.
Sure.
Diet Pepsi's out. Xbox is out.
Yeah, but in your world
Pussy's
though,
in
I'm
because
dead.
we're all nude.
In your world, my heart, I'm dead. I don't make it.
Check this thing out right here in my head. See this?
Yes, I heard
Yeah,
about
you're
that.
dead.
So,
You're
so I
dead
have
too.
something in my head too.
let's
that,
talk
You'd
about
be dead too, right?
No, because theoretically, in my mind, the way I look at it is this is from heavy metals. So if it's from heavy metals,
Billy's
and-
saying-
Okay, you're blaming it on that.
and
Billy's blaming
that-
his
that-
ailment
I
on the environment.
I often wonder about why it didn't go that other way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
Why did they drill out my head, put a straw in there, and drain it into my stomach?
All right, let's talk
So-
about
I'm not. I
For the-
understand having a
time
weird
out.
object in your
For,
body.
Yeah,
for,
it's like,
for
what?
the
Why?
for the
Why?
for the
Why?
listeners, what is it exactly? What is the medical condition that you have? Why do you have a shunt in your head? That's what you call it, a shunt?
Yeah, it's a shunt.
All right. So a couple years back, you start having
The best
cranial.
one-
You start having cranial pain.
Like headaches.
Yeah, yeah.
And at the time, because you're kind of a cuckoo bird anyway, everyone started saying, "Oh, well, now it makes sense. Billy's fucking crazy because his brain's been shrinking."
my
or whatever.
brain hasn't been shrinking.
It's been under pressure.
No, it's been basically what happened is your brain is like a motor, and you have fluid that runs through your brain, cools your brain, and it was getting clogged.
Brings
So
in
basically, it
nutrients,
was just
takes stuff
filling up
out.
with pressure and pushing my brain against my skull. It was,
Like hydrocephaly.
hydrocephalitis. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I had.
King.
I forgot.
You know what?
I forget details.
why I go to
couldn't
school.
I couldn't have picked a better girl to marry my buddy Dan, and I did pick you. So
You did.
I'm just
Okay,
saying.
we can talk about heavy metals and all we want, but like the fact is,
So
before technology,
Hydrocephaly.
hydrocephaly is
Like
it's a
water-
buildup of pressure in your brain, in your cranial cavity.
Fluid, right.
before
hydro, and then
before
cephaly
technology,
is-
people
Now
died young.
you have a valve in there that releases this fluid. Where does it go?
See right here. Check this out. I got a little.
It goes back
Go
inside your body,
Into his stomach.
My stomach, yeah.
in your stomach.
Usually, it would come out your spinal cord up here somewhere.
Right.
So into your actual like physical stomach that digests food, or just like the
Digest thoughts now.
Some people have it leak into their brain, right? I mean, into their
Into their-
nose, right?
literally.
Some people have that fluid leak into their nose, right?
Into, like, an external
and
bag.
They can like no, just like they'll be like they have spinal fluid leak like.
And so
without-
for the rest of your life, that's what's going on until technology brings you a better solution, or we come up with a better reality, or you phase into a better reality. What is that true? That's in your brain for.
Yeah, they're not taking this out.
All right, so that's what you. That's
that
what
is
Dan.
pretty cool.
So,
They can do that though.
so you and Dan are dead in this natural world. Is that true?
Yeah, people died young in the natural world.
I
They
want
didn't make it that long.
I want to say no, because if it was a natural world, things that were given to me, like they wouldn't have made toothpaste, taste like bubble gum when you're 4 years old. That's just dumb. With
Let me ask you a question.
loaded with fluoride.
You
That's-
use
that's-
a lot of power tools in your job,
Sure.
in your trade.
Yes.
You do. You've got all kinds of nice tools. Are these not?
He's making
Are
a
these
living.
not? Yes, but these are man-made things that made life easier for a purpose. Are they not? I mean, are they not wondrous and awesome to have? And like, why would you want to? Why would you want to go to a time where we don't have these things? And
You wouldn't need them.
why do you think we'd evolve the ultimate power of the brain and have telekinesis and all these other things? Is that what you're ultimately going?
If we lived in a world of abundance, there would be no need for all of these things.
Why'd we
But-
abandon the world of abundance then?
Because somebody wanted power over another man.
Yeah, for sure. But you're a farmer. You grow crops. It ain't easy being cheesy, man. There's a million without it doesn't just grow. You don't just plant seeds and they come out awesome. All right. There's a science to it. There's a learning curve to it. Even if you know all the things, there are things that get brought in, like a hurricane will come through and wipe out your
Insects.
crop.
Yeah.
Or every 7 years there's a bloom in cicadas and
Cicadas.
Sorry. Hey, I'm wearing jeans.
I think without
you can't see my
without
knees.
modern
Be
medicine,
happy.
I was very
without
happy.
modern medicine, we don't fight infection. We don't do a lot of things.
Well,
We don't-
penicillin's only
we
been
don't
around
get
100
painless
years,
tooth
bro.
stuff. Like imagine pulling a tooth before we had Novocaine and things.
Well,
like that.
I mean, all
Ooh.
drugs are from plants.
But then you'd say we wouldn't lose teeth, but people still lost.
Right
Not-
here. This
not all
this is a
drugs are
natural.
from
so
plants.
so
Time
right,
out. You're down with shamans, though, right? Shamans
so,
are okay.
So right now, right, I have my wisdom teeth growing in. So let's say this is my back tooth, and it's
Yeah.
growing in this way, right? And they told me if I don't have it removed, that it's gonna crush all my teeth and blah 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 blah. Okay, so
Be uncomfortable.
so right now my tooth is pushing against this tooth, and it's like this. It's on its
Yeah.
way up, but guess what? It's turning up. So I'm pushing on this right now, like this,
Yeah.
and it hurts like.
Like, why would we have wisdom teeth? that
I
need
have
to be
clove
removed?
oil. I have clove oil.
That's what I use for
mixed
my
with
tooth.
with
That's just
salt.
bad. Yeah.
With salt
So
and
that's
water,
ex-
and it pretty much numbs it. And
So that's exactly what
there's
happened
natural
I was just using that last weekend.
to
So
my
shamanism is in.
shamanism.
That would be shamanism.
There are some things you can do, but I needed surgery to fix them all.
I mean, real.
And you know, clove oil and that combination of substances
But
is a
let's-
medicine,
let-
right? Surely you're aware of that, right? That's medicinal plant use.
Yeah, it's
That's
natural
what shamans. That's what shamans do. They
Okay,
take
cool.
plants and they make medicine.
My abscess
I'm-
recently
I'm
was
all
so
for that,
bad.
yeah.
I did clove oil, I did salt water, all sorts of things, and they're just so bad. I needed oral surgery. It's the only thing that was gonna fix it for me.
too. Yeah.
It was. I was in so much pain. Like I would have pulled it up myself if I went any longer.
He actually said that. He's like, I think I'm going to pull it myself. I said, are you insane?
Will you
my brother
please
did
ask
that.
me
My-
next
my
time?
brother-
He did it.
I
he
took
did
a
it
piercing
once.
needle and I stuck it
Yeah,
through
but
to
just
break
send me a
abscess.
text and be
My
like,
brother
bro, can you
pulled his
rip my
out.
tooth?
Did he? I pulled out once. I did it once.
He did it
He
once.
said it was the most excruciating
Most
pain
bar-
he's ever had in his life.
Barbaric. It's so
So,
barbaric.
so when it comes to teeth pain, we could talk about the universe and philosophy and all that stuff. But when it comes to teeth pain, throw it all out the window and fuck everyone. It hurts so bad. Like, so I don't know what they did before. Like they even had ether or something to knock you out. Like I know they used alcohol and stuff, but like,
Why would we evolve as a biological entity that had such like a
I-
dependence on these teeth and then
I-
have such severe pain when anything happens?
well, he's gonna say our teeth are worse
Why-
now
like
because
sharks,
of
sharks like
the fluoride, and
sharks
things like
crank through teeth. It's
Yeah.
like, oop, lost a tooth.
Which is
oop,
what I've
lost a
heard,
tooth.
too.
Just
I'm
yank
gonna-
it, yank it.
Yeah,
yank
I'll
it.
replace a new
But
one.
they
Like,
say
what's up
they
with
say
that?
that every one of your teeth is associated with an organ in your body. They also say if we're all electric,
Who's the they?
I've just read it. I
ominous
picked it
they.
up somewhere.
What about teeth in the heart? 'Cause
fair.
I've heard that too. My
Huh?
teeth didn't go bad until my heart started going bad.
Well, you're one
That's
being.
exactly what William is saying.
So you're all one. You know what I mean? You're a whole system. You're
For
not
sure.
just a tooth. You're not just a heart. You're not just this. So whatever you're taking in is what's gonna make you up. So if you're taking in, poor food, poor diet, if you're eating animals, medication, most medication, 95% of pharmaceuticals are derived from crude oil waste. They find some way that it affects you, and then they
Well,
give it to you.
I'm interested to hear you say that because Kingsley works in the pharmaceutical industry.
I do.
And that doesn't mean that he's wrong because they could just be telling you, oh, yeah, here you go, kids. Come work for Google. It's great.
But some of these medications, I think, have saved me. It helped me get into remission from my disease. I know you're going to say that some of the things caused my disease to begin with.
Well, you have to go
Which
back
is
to source.
possible
You
because
have to go
everything's
back
coming
to
at
source.
us, and like
Do you
we're
not-
drinking this water that's just everything, all the little preservatives and weird shit. In
That's
foods.
why my water is in a glass bottle. If you know something, do something.
Yeah, but do you
Why
not?
is it in a glass bottle?
It's not in a plastic
Not
bottle.
plastic.
because-
Oh, right.
Because
Well, that's-
and you know what I mean. I make sure I do what I think I can.
Can. 'Cause
You,
they're
you don't
saying-
you don't
yeah.
you don't know what. But if I'm gonna put it through this Berkey filter and it's supposed to be super clean, I just said super clean. That's awful. But if then I'm gonna do it if I you know if
Do you
I
not,
think
They
it's
do you not
better.
think the Earth is like right now poisoned? Wait, time out. I just remembered the answer to the question. I don't even have to ask you. Get this. I asked Billy about this like a week ago. He comes over to look at my house for some shit, and he's going off on his crazy stuff, and I'm down on some of it. So I'm like. I'm tuning in and
Oh,
out of the.
you're going nuke.
I guess I'm tuning in. Yeah, I'm going nuke. I'm tuning in and out of your wavelength. You know, so some of it's like kind of jives with what I think, and some of it's just totally fucking cuckoo. But I can't. Well, no, but I can't disprove it. So I can't sit here and be like, oh, it's not correct. But here's the deal. I'm talking to him about like all the toxins, and he was going on about like heavy metals and like he doesn't wear deodorant because not traditional deodorants because of the aluminum and all this other bullshit that's in them. And there's some studies that say this stuff's really bad for you, but men just ignore it because it kind of makes them not smell as horrible.
It's because you smell because the food you eat.
True, that's a big part of it. We know that.
Because I don't.
But
What, hot fries aren't good for you?
I don't know. But you know, I basically asked the question, like, don't you just think that we're all fucked from, like, everyone has cancer and we're all fucked up because of all the nuclear testing that was done, like, let's say between, like, 1920 and 1960.
More plastic bottles that cause
1955.
infertility.
Yeah, well into the early 60s,
That's
they
one
were
of them.
getting ready to fight Russia with nukes. They wanted bigger and better
Cold
nukes.
War.
Russia was building nukes. They wanted bigger and better nukes. This guy says to me, nukes aren't real at all. Nuclear weapons. Elaborate on that, please.
I mean, you can't prove they're real.
I've never seen one go off.
There's a book called 100 Suns. Where
I've
they
seen it on
set off,
TV, and there are
like-
people that get
There's
on
also-
TV
wait,
and talk
there's
about
also-
it. I've never seen it.
There's also these rocks that come, these glass,
What was
Vitrification.
that person very close to me guarding in the military?
She has somebody close to her that was
I
guarding.
thought it was stealth bombers.
Those
But
two.
they have nukes on
I mean,
them.
they
Bingo.
they have bombs on them.
So bombs are real, but not nukes.
Yeah.
You think they made a video and made the Germans scared to quit the war, or what do you think happened?
I
There
don't know,
was
there's
no
some-
war.
there's some bad,
How deep does this go?
I mean, if you look into they bombed Japan, right, with the nuke, right, and you
Hiroshima.
yeah, there's
Twice.
yeah,
Nagasaki.
but-
Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
okay, let me say, I should have said this earlier. Is I forget details, but any of these things that I'm saying, I can go back and I can find them. Do you know
You're
what I mean?
allowed to forget some details.
I forget a lot of details. I
Not
got a
a
hole in my
computer.
head.
You got a hole in your head.
Yeah,
And you're
but
holding on to some very complex theories.
But anyways, nuclear weapons are just a way for what's going on right now.
Like a
to
societal control.
yeah, exactly. It's fear. It just put fear into a whole.
But we don't
society.
have. We didn't grow up with a fear of nukes. I just figured like if anyone launched one, we were all just gonna get vaporized, and anyone that didn't would
We didn't have those like
but
drills in
fallout
school.
shelters.
Like
no
no,
one's
no,
building.
They did in the 60s.
What kind? Yeah, but
I mean-
what kind of drills do you remember having in school?
Never
Never. With
No, not like that.
fire drills.
It's but yeah.
Yeah. No,
See, in
I don't.
California-
I'm
Oh, sorry. You can ask.
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, depending on how old you were. I mean, the generation before me would have been the ones with
Right.
With
Yeah,
those.
that
right.
was
So
the
it wouldn't
control
have-
mechanism
That was a control
to
mechanism.
keep everybody
yes.
locked down.
I am the
Keep-
I
Now
am
it's
the
a
baby.
Now it's a pandemic.
Now it's a Yeah. Now it's
Okay.
Now it's a
Yeah, no, it's
virus.
they're taking it. The people that do take advantage of these.
Have you ever heard of germ theory or
Germ
terrain,
theory?
terrain theory?
No.
No.
I know that I know
So-
that I
so-
don't get a flu shot, and that my version of a flu shot is to make out with as many girls as I can, and cross mogenate the viruses.
But that's not doing anything.
Well, it's doing something. I don't get the flu.
So germ theory is the theory that when you have a cell that's bad, I'm gonna butcher this, but
Try your best.
okay, you have a cell that's bad, and because the cell is bad, and when they go look at the cell, because the cell is bad, you see a virus there or you see a bacteria there, and that's the thought. That the logic behind it is that they must be doing something. They must be causing that damage to that cell. The
virus.
the virus or the bacteria.
pathogen.
Right, the pathogen, and that's germ theory. That's how the theory works. And then there's also terrain theory. Terrain theory is the theory that so the cell gets damaged, one from whatever you're putting
Radiation.
in it. Oh, sure. I'm
Proximity to a electrical device.
Yeah, maybe that. Maybe your food intake. Probably maybe if you smoke cigarettes. Maybe if you take alcohol. That's all any poisons. Anything that's going to be judgmental to your health.
I got all three all right over here.
So,
Pick your poison.
There.
At least they know it. At least they're calling them poisons.
Are you saying germ and bacteria doesn't exist?
So terrain theory is the theory that it's kind of like the analogy was put that if you see a house on fire, right, and the house is burning to the ground, and then you just show up you're an outside watcher on, and you show up and you see that there's police, and then around the police there's firefighters, and they're going at the
emergency
fire.
responders.
Right, they're there, and then so germ theory is saying that since
Where
every
there's
time
smoke, there's fire.
every time that there's a fire, these show up, so they must be causing it.
What you're saying is one of Dan D's favorite phrases. Causality causation does not equal correlation does not equal causation. So just because something
they correlate doesn't mean
happened at the same time doesn't mean
they could be there for a different reason.
So terrain theory is, and the way terrain theory thinks is that basically viruses are proteins, and you have like 30,000 of them supposedly laying dormant in your body, and when your body gets sick to a point, it comes in to start cleaning. It starts to cleanse. That's why
you're saying they're like
that's why you get sick. So when you get toxic to the point, and you're gonna expel that poison or that whatever out of you. You get what I'm saying? Diarrhea.
I think what you're saying is that we contain like a massive array of these viruses inside us at birth, and that they're released as some sort of like biological nanites to go through and like clean everything and kill the dead cells and do stuff that they work on a mechanism that we can't comprehend yet.
If you present certain bacteria like Ebola to somebody bloodborne, they will get sick from Ebola with expected symptoms.
I'm just trying to explain what he's saying. I'm not disagreeing with that.
No. I'm just saying that like you can look at bacteria attacking cells under a microscope. You've seen this in the lab.
You've seen this?
I've seen this.
She's seen it.
She does all kinds of petri dish stuff and microscopes and some electron. I don't know about electron microscope. Do you have electron microscope access?
No, I don't.
That's a shame.
No, the farthest I can go down is 1,000 hours.
I heard magnification.
And basically, when you look at the proteins is a black and white picture of like a 2D flat.
That just depends. That's just one way of looking at it.
How you're looking at it.
There's different ways of staining different proteins, and then looking at them on gel, or you can tag them with
but that's not
ultraviolet.
That's not in its natural.
No, naturally you can't.
Right, you would be adding another element to it.
To see them, you never
you never get to see what's really.
That's like seeing space. You have to add a lens.
But depending on what
type
of protein
I have a lens on my eye. I go outside. I can see what.
No, I know that. I'm just saying we're talking about a stronger lens. Just as like my legs don't move as fast as a Ferrari motor.
And our lenses are limited to the spectrum too, as well. This is what's boggled my mind about science to begin with. Okay.
But they're bought and paid for.
It's all built. It's all built on top of this thing. That's built on top of this thing. That's built on top of this thing. And at the end of the day, it all came out of like human ideas. Like someone had to figure out a way to measure electrical current, right? And they were like, well, first we've got to figure out what's the system? Is it going to be 1 through 12 or 1 through 10 or 1 through 100?
Just the metrics.
They had to figure out the metrics. Then they had to figure out a way to measure the metrics and how do they know they're accurately measuring
and all of that.
Test this device and it's insane that they're able to figure out a way to measure and probe and see and basically observe everything.
And all of that is to put definition in your head, right? So that you steer away from the world of abundance into this this man-made.
What's the world of abundance? You think humans are just going to run around and plant food, dude? Humans, I don't even know why I get up every day and do what I do. No one does. People get up. Why do you get up and do what you do? I don't know.
Grocery store has everything you want.
I could.
You could have been anything in the world.
I could weed a
but
garden all day.
You do a lot of different things. I'll admit that. But at the end of the day, you chose to earn a living in the tile business. Why? Why? I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows.
I did foundations for 6 years, right? That'll make you think about what job you do.
Sure.
Right? And
No,
how you
laying
do it.
forms is hard. Hard work.
Right. And then
Hard work.
And then I found a job that was pretty easy where I could be my own boss. And
I explained it earlier that you had time to think and listen to audiobooks.
once I figured out, like, I looked around, I worked there for like a week under one of my buddies, and I'm like, okay, I bought all my own tools, and I was like, this is what I'm going to do.
Precisely
and
what
I'm
I said
gonna,
earlier.
And I'm just going to do my own thing. And, so I think I helped him for a month, and then I went on my own.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that. Every
That's
man
great.
should be able to build or do something.
An island onto
man and
themselves.
woman. Be able to do something with their hands, like something useful.
Yeah, so
Craftsmanship.
I have mastered my craft. So now after I get my lineup gone, I can just put on anything and just take it in. And I don't think everything I listen to I believe either. I don't believe. I want to know. I want to go out and see the tree. You know what I mean?
But how will you know if you know is the question.
There's one thing that I've heard that's so stupid to me, because we have to trust scientists for some things. People like me go out and get a PhD in something, and they do their own tests.
Why do we have to trust them?
Well, if somebody, all right, listen, like this is one that I've heard is that there are some people out there that think dinosaurs didn't exist.
I actually, it's been taken apart easily.
Not by paleontologists, by idiots on YouTube.
I don't consider some of these people
They're not
idiots.
paleontologists. They're not trained paleontologists.
Trained paleontologists. If you really go back and you look at the dinosaur thing, all of them come, like every one of these big dinosaurs, T-Rexes or whatever they have, all of them come from one bone, and the bone could be just as easily a whale, a giraffe.
No, they see all sorts of.
What are you saying? What are
They
you
find full skeletons.
You're saying
No,
they're fake?
you got to understand why that's there. That is there for the fear. Fear is the ultimate goal, right? So what's the first thing that they show you when you get to kindergarten? They show you a globe, right? They tell you this ball.
We're not going there.
They show you the globe, and then they tell you.
I think he believes in flat Earth theory.
I think so, too.
If he believes
the
in
dinosaur thing goes right along with flat Earth for some reason.
Well, because
But how did they
they
get the
want
bones?
you like I just said.
Why haven't there been any Bigfoot
literally
bones
no, but
found?
they,
This
they
question.
find full T-Rexes.
No,
deep
they
in the-
don't.
Yes, they
Look
do.
it up. No.
Sioux. They found all sorts of T-Rexes. They find them in Matrix. They
didn't.
find them in stone. I have a fossil fish that's 30,000 years old, set in
A
stone.
fish.
Oh,
A
okay.
fish.
But I make things for a living. There's no way somebody can make
Settle down there, big
200
guy.
specimens
You're
of
gonna blow-
T-Rexes
you're gonna
and put them
blow-
into the ground and rock and have to like
Banana.
banana. Okay,
That's the safe word.
That's the safe
a
word.
safe word. Okay, I've heard this theory before. I've heard paleontologists talk about it too, and they get mad. They're like, "This is fucking ridiculous." Like they've been studying dinosaurs their whole lives.
The fact that there's a preserved skeleton over millions of years of erosion and
Because
movement.
it's rare. Fossilization is rare.
It's
And they can
crazy.
explain how it happens.
It's
too.
actually not rare.
It's crazy.
No, for dinosaurs to fossilize, it's rare. In certain sediment, it's rare. So, like, we have dinosaurs.
This might not be a real thing.
I'm talking about talking about millions of years of dinosaurs and dead specimens. Only a certain amount fossilized, and they have specimens, and they have type specimens for like Deinonychus and Velociraptor and all these dinosaurs, but they exist.
I like when they
Carcharodon
extrapolate.
megalodon was a real shark.
I like when they
find
extrapolate
teeth.
what they
This
think
big.
the animal
we're back.
looked like.
We're back to sharks, though. Now
Oh, okay.
that's not a dinosaur.
It's still a prehistoric animal.
Sharks are no. There's sharks around here.
Carcharodon megalodon was the size of a school bus.
I don't go in the ocean. I tell the girls my shark attack.
I'm just saying that I've heard.
It was a shark attack.
I've heard the dinosaur theory up and down, and
The dinosaur.
the
The dinosaurs.
Get angry.
The
I'm
dinosaurs
not angry, but
are there to make you think as a little kid that they could blow this whole world up with
okay.
an
So you're
asteroid.
just saying everything is about fear. Well, asteroids can hit us.
Oh, I don't know.
No.
They didn't. They
Space
didn't,
isn't real.
I don't think.
Okay,
I don't
see-
think they taught us as kids that dinosaurs
You can't
died
prove
from
any of it.
asteroids, though. I think that was later.
People
on.
go to space. Do you need to do all this yourself? You can't believe anybody. Like anybody qualified can't be believed. It has to be you. You're the source. Like if you don't go to space, it doesn't exist. If you don't,
If I don't go to space, it doesn't exist. Have you ever seen what?
I believe in a lot of conspiracies, but also I believe that space is real. I believe dinosaurs are real. I believe this scientists
There's a lot of beliefs
are not all paid off. A lot of them are struggling, and they're smart, and they're
Oh, most of them are shit on.
yeah, but
They can't say oh, we think this is what happened.
Well, yeah, you have to follow. You have to tote the line. If someone's paying you for, I want to make sure. I mean, think about it. They made cigarettes look good in the day. They made asbestos look good.
Hey, I'm sorry.
They make a lot of things look good.
Sex sells. Cigarettes look cool when cool people are doing them. You're like,
yeah,
I know it's gross and bad.
no, you're right. Doctors get paid off. People get paid off. I agree with that. But I also agree that there's a lot of passionate scientists that believe certain things, especially passionate dinosaur scientists. Tell me how they were made and put in the ground. That's what I want to know because
they're not made and put in the ground. I'm saying that they take one little bone that they find somewhere and they say, "Oh, it's this. It's this."
No.
And
But
then
I've
they make
seen
a big
real
sculpture.
bones in person though. I've been next to them.
Yeah, Dan's done some paleontology. He's dug up some Native American relics and some other stuff.
Yeah, and
but
I've
we're talking
seen them
about
articulated.
We're talking about dinosaurs.
But I've seen
though.
dinosaurs articulated.
Dinosaurs were a long time ago, man.
And dinosaurs weren't real.
Discus.
I'm going to show you this app right here.
Is this a brain teaser app? Brain teasers are nuts.
No, this is one of the theories of what the Earth is like. Okay,
I'm dying for you to explain it to me.
So this is what they would call a flat Earth map, and this outside all the way around here, this white where the numbers are, would be Antarctica. So if you were to take a globe like this and you bring it out like this, right? So bottom out from the middle, pull it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the way you get
like an orange.
Yeah, sure. Kind
Feeling an orange.
yeah. And that basically what is above us is a clock. So you have the sun that tells you hours and days, right? You have the month, right? Moon goes around and it tells you every month, right? And then you have all the stars in the sky which tell you where in the cycle we are, right?
All right.
Whichever
what time it is, baby.
Right, what time it is, right? And you can go through here. You can see, you can speed this up, right? And it'll show you where the sun's going to travel, how it travels
You have to
for winter.
Send me a link for that so I can post it so the audience can actually have a look at it. And can I just tell you something? Let me tell you about.
So what is this showing? What is this showing?
Well, he's just saying that it could be flat Earth. It's like
it's
like
showing you a theory, right? And then the theory is that this is all water. And this ice wall holds the water in, and that there could be more land outside here, terrestrial's land, right? So on the outskirts of this ice wall, there very well could be more land. There's like
I'd like to see photos of the ice wall, though.
Antarctica.
There's
it's a no-fly zone. You're not allowed to go down there.
50 countries signed a treaty saying that you can't go down there.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
And
why would they do that?
Right, and if you think about it, how about people who lived over here before they came to the new land, in telling them that there's more land? Everyone would be like, nah, get out of here.
We're gonna go get some.
So it's just
they'd go nuts.
Right, and so that's the thought, is that you're not allowed to go past there because there's more.
I don't know.
Yeah, but we have images from space.
We're hard.
I know you're saying we don't.
We're hard.
I believe we do.
We're hard to
Believe we
contain.
do.
What's an image, though?
Yeah, dude. You know, like your
Pictures.
The pictures.
I
of
have
what?
pictures of my kids. They're real pictures of my kids.
Right.
Like when,
That's a picture.
When you're
but
having
an image is not a picture.
It's like this: when you're having a long distance relationship with someone and they're like in another place, how do you communicate with them, right? Like now we have the phone and you can video chat and all that, but you're not really having a relationship with that person. You're like talking to the phone, and you're having a relationship with this device who's transmitting this electronic image representation of the actual person, maybe in real time, maybe. But at a certain point, the computer could just like you could call your mom and it could just be like a computer and it would look and sound exactly like her. But you wouldn't know the difference.
Yes, you would.
And
you could
maybe,
definitely
maybe
They're getting pretty good at that now, though. About the sound. Have you seen some of it?
Let me just say this on that though, on your Earth theory. See, this is where I'm at with reality, right? In general.
Hold on a second.
Reality is crazy that it even exists at all. So any explanation of it is fine with me. And in addition to that,
reality,
the mainstream,
it's real to you. It's reality.
I guess the mainstream the mainstream scientists now are saying there's 11 dimensions to the Earth. And I am someone who's like pretty well schooled in the sciences, and I couldn't even stay with the video when they were trying to explain it, and they were trying to like
They're
make
probably
these
trying to
videos.
confuse you.
But like
because,
what you're
it's
talking
real
about,
easy.
we live in supposedly
We make it hard.
3 dimensions, and like that's all we can handle. And like the 4th dimension, supposedly time, we get like a vague sense of it, but like there's like all these other dimensions. And so if the Earth was flat, if it's round, if it's fucking multiverse, if it's one verse, if it's the Big Bang, if it's all of
none of it matters.
it's all fucking, it's insane that it
So
exists.
we're saying at the end, none of this matters anyways.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's how I go at my life, man. Like, I'm going to die, bro. Like, it'll all just be gone.
Yeah, but you don't know what
of it
happens after.
What happened? Okay, I like this one. What happens after death?
I would
You
love
don't
to
know what happens.
We don't know. Nobody does.
Right, so.
But they claim some people claim they communicate. Some people claim they've seen ghosts, things like that. They have people. Some people even say they can visit the afterlife.
But can we go and meet the ghost? Can we go say hi to the ghost? Can
we
go?
can't run any experiments to
Right,
bring them back.
we can't do any of that. So it's just that,
The idea of nothing is hard to
That's their life. That's their story.
Do you have any?
That's their story.
Do you have any
It's not real
wishes?
life.
Any wishes or anything like that you think would happen after death?
Oh,
Like, what do you want to have happen?
What would you want to have happen? Or any ideas?
probably
you think could be
compost the
probable?
body and whatever happens.
Okay,
happens.
no, nothing like
what would be
consciousness,
your
I mean.
ideal after death situation? Like, would you want to be
Go
like
to the light.
No,
Yeah,
a
you know.
watermelon patch. Maybe throw the body in a watermelon patch. Maybe some.
Do you
So
think
nothing
like your
conscious.
consciousness wouldn't?
I don't know what's going to happen, so whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
No,
know-
right. But do you have like, I don't know,
I
like
had
a
5 death
dream as to
experiences.
how it would happen? Like, I know my fear is that everything is just a blanket of darkness forever for
But
all
you wouldn't even
eternity.
experience that anyways.
I don't know
But
why.
still.
It's
You're
just
just
one of my
cold
fears.
and dark and
Yeah,
alone.
exactly. That's
Cut
what
off
my
from the
fear
senses.
is. But I hope that it's
The way I think is
like a
is-
euphoric thing. I guess I don't know.
I probably think it would, you know,
What do you hope it is?
it's probably just darkness, like
Yeah.
sleep.
Well, thanks a lot
Sleep.
for saying that after she just said what she said, man.
Well, okay. I've had 5 death experiences
Like, how
where
do
I
you know?
died,
Well,
and
I
I
don't
didn't
know.
have anything happen to me, and it kind of like I had maybe some feelings.
Was it like getting
but, like,
anesthesia? Is that how you would describe it?
I had some feelings where something wasn't
Anesthesia
right.
feels
it
like
changed
sleep.
me. I'll tell you, it definitely changed me. Like a lot about like the way I live, but like nothing happened
I have-
specific where I saw anything. Not that I remember, at least.
I'm glad Mac is not here today. He's
Well-
not talking about death, but I am fascinated by it.
I am
think it's
too.
incredible. I'm like, wait a second.
That's one
You're
of those
telling
things
me-
they hide from you.
I'm like, wait a second.
they
You're
don't
telling-
want you to talk.
No, they
about
don't
it.
want you
to
to
talk
They
about
want
it.
you to be afraid of it. It's the
Yeah.
ultimate. It's the ultimate
Yeah.
control.
His
Yeah.
doctor.
Well, no, I agree with
so the first time he ever got shocked, his electrophysiologist looked at me and said, "How did it feel to lay next to a dead man for 15 seconds?"
Jesus.
And I said,
What?
"Excuse me." And he said, "Well,
We
that's
didn't
how
know.
that's
Can
how
I
long
tell
it
you-
takes the pacemaker or defibrillator to kick in and shock the heart." And I was like, "Whoa!" I was sleeping.
I woke
so
up and
I
said,
don't.
kick me.
But I didn't look at it like that until he said it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It kind of threw me off.
Creepy.
But then in
That
reality,
just sounds like something you wouldn't say to somebody.
No, that's rude.
But it was kind of weird bedside manner. But in reality, his equipment did exactly what it was supposed to,
Functioned.
and
It functions
saved
really
his
good.
life. Really,
Yeah. It would-
Otherwise, I would have woken up to a dead husband.
Can I tell you, Billy, what I've come up with is 2 universal truths from me, and you can say that they're not, but
Well, truths can't. I can't. You know, if it's a truth, it's a truth.
This is
If
just-
it's a belief. It's a belief.
fair enough. Fair enough. One of them is what I said earlier. If you're truly a free entity, a free conscious organism, then nothing, no government, no religion, no people, nothing holds dominion over you, what you decide to do and act and whatever.
Well,
And that's it.
no,
Like,
but you
everything
can't,
is
you
your
can't, You
choice.
can't eliminate people, right?
everything is your
because,
choice.
Because we're all here, right? You're here. We're all co-creators of the here and now.
Yeah.
Right now, what's
Yeah.
going on? We all, we all came here to talk on the radio. You know, all this. So we're co-creators.
I guess. But
So
what
the
I'm,
people
what I'm-
are always
What
gonna
I'm
be
saying is that whenever you go along with the flow of things, and it's okay to do that. It's often right to do that.
To go along with the flow.
Yeah, sometimes you go with the flow, sometimes you resist the flow, sometimes you it's like being in a river. That's life, Sometimes you ride the rapids, and sometimes it's a dangerous place, and you swim off to the side and you walk on the edge for a little bit, right? And then you get back in at a more comfortable place and you ride those rapids, right? That's the life. And the trick of it is like when to know when to ride the rapids and when not to, and that some people never figure it out. But what I'm saying is everything's a choice. Even like people talk about like being captured in slavery and all these other stuff. I'm like, that's a choice, man. You always have a choice. You can live or die. You can fight or run. You can do anything you want.
Or just stay there.
If I was to be incarcerated, right? Like I imagine that I would just like it would be my choice to go do the time versus fighting and trying to like kill my way out of jail and being killed in the process. But that's still my choice, right? Like I don't understand why these people that are in prison for life allow it to occur. I'm like, you're trapped forever in this place that you've allowed yourself to be trapped in. Now, if you're comfortable there, fine.
But they've created that.
Exactly. But you have a choice to get out of it. Now, the second truth is this.
I suppose, yeah.
The second truth is this. The fear of death is the ultimate control. And when you truly can conquer your fear of death, then you can not be afraid of anything. And there are things that are like, I don't want anything bad to happen to my kid, or like people I care about, or all these other things, right? Like then that's not necessarily related to death, but like when you've conquered your fear of death, then you've conquered, the ultimate fear. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's traditional
And so it's very hard to control somebody that thinks that way, and they try not to get you to think that way. They want you to learn the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s, the fucking. Well, and that's a good song by the Jackson 5.
Well, there you go. ABCs and 1, 2, 3s.
That's gonna be the song of the week, baby. ABC 1, 2, 3.
That's definitions. They're putting definitions in your head to control what your thoughts are.
Well, it's a label concepts.
Dude, traditional.
But they're shaping the concepts with the labels and with the way they want you to shape it. Is all I'm saying. Is what he's saying too. So
does traditional ways of thinking ever come into your head and you have to like stop yourself and be like?
He runs a business. He has accounting. He knows about real life.
No, not traditional like that. I just mean traditional ways of viewing the world. Do you ever like?
I don't celebrate birthdays. I don't celebrate holidays. Really? I don't take. I do.
You don't do like your own birthday for like a.
No,
like
never.
I do like a.
No, that's an egotistical thing to do.
Well, see, what I don't do it that way. I do it as like what.
Yeah, birthday months. I love it when I see people have birthday months.
No,
that's insane.
I do.
I have a ritual on my birthday that I outside of trying to get some birthday nookie at the end of the night, I like to spend my birthday in solitude and reflection on the year behind me and the year ahead of me.
I just do whatever I was gonna do.
Well, I try to do things. So, like on my birthday, I try to do things that make me at my core, and that's a big ego thing. Fine.
When is your birthday, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah. What's your sign? Is what she wants to know.
No, I just want to know his birthday.
Really?
I can do his sign. It was in my head.
October 30th.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I don't know them in my
He's
head.
a Scorpio.
I'm a Scorpio too.
Watch out.
I am too.
My husband is too. And so my
Well, they have a lot of similarities.
My son's birthday is the day after, is on Halloween.
Yeah, no, that's awesome for you guys.
I love Halloween.
I never thought that was a good thing, because if you had a birthday party, then there was all kinds of Halloween parties, and
Saying it
That
overlaps.
happens. Yeah, you get.
So yeah,
you get the ass.
my birthday is 5 days after Christmas.
So at one
Yeah,
point,
you don't believe this is for children. Children,
I see what this is.
children are innocent.
Your birthday is near Halloween, and it's been ruined for you your whole life, and
As
now
a
you
little
don't
kid.
believe in birthdays.
No.
Yes, that's what's going on. Come on, Billy.
No, my birthday is 5 days after Christmas. I get it.
God, you need
It's
therapy.
always ruined.
But when you stop celebrating all those things, doing all the things they tell you you're supposed to do, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, we measure
they
things.
tell-
Do we not? Do we not measure things?
I think we do it mostly for the kids.
And I love Halloween all
honestly.
year round. I like pumpkins and
Birthdays get less important to you as you get older, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You start
For
looking
sure.
forward to them less. But I don't look at it like that. I look at it
I don't
as
know. I look forward to my next.
Yeah, it would have been easy. It's easier for me to say now that my daughter's all grown up. I
when they're
could see.
kids, they're
like,
so innocent, and just let them enjoy life. They shouldn't
Sure.
be burdened with this stuff. Maybe later they'll come up to things like this.
I hope they don't find our podcast and hear all this.
Oh my god.
I always wonder about that.
All right, well, that's all we got time for tonight,
We
guys.
want you on again, though. I want him
boy.
on again because I want to be more prepared next time.
I think you guys.
I'm gonna look into some of this stuff.
I think you guys should get back. Thanks for coming on, Billy. We'll have you back on, and until next time, guys. I guess
See ya.
look up flat Earth theory and question some shit.